Your CI job starts a deploy at 2 in the morning. The script runs SSH, the remote command never starts, and the job sits there until the runner kills it an hour later. No clean error, no rollback trigger, just a password prompt or host key question waiting for a human who is not there. That is the failure batch mode is meant to prevent. In automation, a hung SSH command is worse than a failed SSH command. Failed commands page you, stop the pipeline, and leave evidence. Hung commands burn time and hide the cause. Batch mode is an OpenSSH client option for non-interactive use. Set batch mode yes when SSH is being called by a script, a cron job, a systemd timer, a configuration management run, or a CI worker. The rule is simple. Scripts must fail, not ask. If authentication needs a password, if a private key needs a passphrase that is not already available, or if the client wants confirmation, batch mode tells SSH not to stop and ask the terminal. It exits with a non-zero status instead. That gives your automation something it can handle. Fail the job, retry at the right layer, alert, or rollback. Mechanically, batch mode changes client behavior before the connection becomes an interactive conversation. The client will not prompt for a login password. It will not ask you to type a private key passphrase. It will not pause for a yes or no host key confirmation. If the required material is not already available through an unencrypted automation key, a loaded agent, or a trusted known host's entry, the connection fails. That is exactly what we want for scripts. Batch mode does not make SSH less secure. It removes human fallback, so you must prepare the environment. Keys deployed, host keys trusted, and the script written to check exit codes. Here is the core baseline. Host star means these defaults apply to every host matched by this file, unless a later or more specific block overrides them. Batch mode yes is the first rule, never prompt. ConnectTimeout 10 bounds the initial connection attempt, so a dead address does not wait on long TCP defaults. ServerAliveInterval 15 sends an encrypted SSH level keep alive when the connection is idle. ServerAliveCountMax 2 means 2 unanswered keep alives are enough. After about 30 seconds of silence, the client exits. In the full automation file, I also add ConnectionAttempts 1, IdentitiesOnly yes, and StrictHostKeyChecking yes for deterministic, non-interactive behavior. A practical pattern is to keep automation settings in a separate client config instead of mixing them into your everyday interactive SSH config. Create shs/auto mode 600 and call it with ssh-f. In that file, define the real target name, hostname, user, and exactly one identity file for the automation role. Then add the host star baseline below it. Your pipeline can run ssh-f/ssh-auto app-prod-1 true as a health check before doing real work. If the key is missing, the host key is not trusted, or the network is down, the check fails quickly and visibly. The common mistake is setting batch mode yes but leaving the rest non-deterministic. IdentitiesOnly yes tells OpenSSH not to offer every random key from your agent. Use it with an explicit identity file so the script uses the key you intended. StrictHostKeyChecking yes prevents trust on first use prompts and accidental host key acceptance. That means known hosts must be prepared before the job runs, preferably through provisioning or configuration management. Do not paper over failures with shell tricks that always return 0. Also remember permissions. No SSH should normally be 700, private keys 600, and your automation config can be 600 for hygiene. This sits in the Practitioner tier because it connects several earlier pieces. Key authentication has to be working first. Host key verification has to be understood first. Exit codes and remote commands have to be normal tools for you already. Batch mode is where those pieces become an automation contract. Later, when we talk about multiplexing, jump hosts, certificate authorities, and fleet config, the same rule remains. Automation needs predictable client behavior. A separate SSH config file also makes reviews easier. You can hand a teammate one file and say, "This is the policy our jobs use." For a 5-minute lab, use your own workstation or a local VM where you administer SSH. Create the small config file shown on screen. Put in the host star baseline. And if localhost accepts your key, add a host localhost block with your user and identity file. Run ssh-f./ssh_auto localhost true. Then check echo $?. Now break one safe thing. Point identity file at a non-existent key, or use a made-up hostname. The command should fail without asking you anything. That is the behavior you want before the command enters a pipeline. 3 beats to keep. First, batch mode yes is the first rule of SSH automation. No prompts ever. Fail instead. Second, pair it with ConnectTimeout and ServerAlive settings so failures have a time boundary. Third, make identity and host key behavior deterministic, with IdentitiesOnly, explicit IdentityFile lines, and StrictHostKeyChecking yes. Put that in an automation SSH config and call it with SSH-F. Tomorrow we keep building the Practitioner toolkit with another SSH topic from zero to expert. New SSH episode daily on this channel, plus the daily ranked CVE brief for admins who patch by risk, not noise.